Hi.
Hi. Sorry,
Are
I'm fine. I was a little bit late because I was having like a coughing attack and was trying to spare you and our listeners. But I've had this annoying situation in my chest for the last week where I feel like I can't breathe. And this morning, Marley told me that there is a tuberculosis outbreak at our
Rachel?
at our local high school, which like we don't go to the high school or know anyone that goes
Okay,
there. But now
but
it's
still,
that's in my brain. Like, oh, I for sure have tuberculosis.
tuberculosis. I mean, first of all,
Which
why does your high school have tuberculosis?
that's a really good question. I don't fucking know because I thought that that was something that was either eradicated like in the 1900s or that we had a vaccine for. And Marley told me he doesn't think that kids get vaccinated for it. It's like isn't the TB shot something you have to get for employment sometimes?
Maybe?
Or maybe
Is
that's just a teacher thing. I don't know.
Is tuberculosis the one where people would cough and then they would dramatically pull away their handkerchief and there was blood on it?
Probably.
You know, like what Meg died in Little Woman?
Actually, I think so. I think so. It's not the one where it was like the bubble boy though, right?
No.
What did he have?
I don't know, but I don't think it was tuberculosis. He
All
had like tuberculosis isn't like
life-threatening.
No, it is. Like all those people died from it.
Oh,
but I meant not lifelong because it takes you out fast enough that you're not going to keep going.
Well, it's been nice knowing
There's
you.
There's got to be, in this day and age, a cure.
One would think. But there's also fucking measles everywhere. So, like, who even knows anymore?
I was so scared in high school of mono.
Oh
now, in high school.
Did you ever have it?
No, because I wasn't engaged with anyone in a way in which
you weren't a slut? Is that what you shared?
No, I wasn't not a slut because I love sluts. Nobody was picking up what I was putting down, if you know what I'm saying. So it wasn't like a deep concern of mine. Although it was.
I actually got it in middle school.
Because you were a slut. You told that story, remember? You kissed 2 boys in one day.
That's not how I got it, though. But it did feel very much like a scarlet letter every time I had to tell someone I had mono. And I was like, this chunky
disease.
This like chunky 7th grader with braces. They were like, really? You got mono? Okay, girl. No, I got it from my friend. Like a bunch of the girls in my class got it because we were like sharing food or drinks or something at like a sleepover.
That's so scary.
I know.
Were you out? Okay, some people have mono and they're out of school for like a year.
I was out of school for I think 2 weeks, maybe one and a half. Okay. I don't really remember, but no, it wasn't that bad.
Okay. Because that's the one too I was always worried. Like I knew people, nobody in my high school, but I remember in grade school hearing about kids from the classes like ahead of us who got mono in high school and were out for like months.
Oh, same. No, I know. I definitely had a couple of classmates that were out for maybe a month or more. It was very serious.
And
very serious.
I do just want to circle back that we love sluts.
We do. We're very, very slut positive, sex positive.
Yes. Slut.
We support all women.
When you hear us say that word, next to it, imagine parentheses complimentary.
Complimentary, not derogatory. No, we support all women on this podcast unless you're Christina.
Oh my God.
Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I think people know where the dividing line of what
people definitely
the
know.
Women we are down for.
I have actually been I've been thinking about you so much this week because everyone's talking about calling your representatives as they should be. And it's so funny to me because so many people are taking videos of themselves calling to like make other people see it's not scary. You can make a phone call. And I've been just thinking, wow, Caitlin must just be thriving right now because she lives for a phone call.
I love a phone call. Especially
You're not afraid.
Not only am I not afraid, I'm looking for excuses. When I went to that 5calls.org and there were scripts for all kinds of issues I wasn't even there for, I was like, oh, I could make 75 calls? This is fantastic. And I got somebody who's like, I hope I get a voicemail. I hope I get a voicemail. I'm like, I hope I can chit chat to anyone. I had to call the IRS the other day. I talked to this woman for 30 minutes. We were laughing hysterically on the phone together. It was so much fun. And you know what? This is what people don't understand. When they call in these situations and they're annoyed, they're calling for some issue. But you got to go in with sweetness because these people on the other end have had people yelling at them the whole time. This girl and I were so close. She was like, you know what? I see that you like paid late and I'm going to see if I can get that fine removed for you.
See?
And I was like, oh my God, Michaela, thank you. But I am the queen of calling, or especially now with certain things, you have to go on chat if you've got issues.
I hate a chat bot.
Unfortunately, my blind spot is bringing up an issue and being like so passionate about it. And then halfway through the conversation being like, oh my God, this is so funny. But like, I actually made a mistake and it's on me. Like, there was one time I was at my apartment and I was trying to turn on the TV and like the channels were it said I like didn't have access to the channels or something. And I went through my email and I pulled the number for the cable service and I called them and it was like, you don't have this service. And I was talking to the person and I was like, this is crazy. Like, why did my service get canceled? This is insane. I clearly have it. I have the email. I have the account number. And then she was like, could you just look at your remote and tell me what it says?
Oh,
and
no.
I was like, it says Direct TV. And she was like, well, this is Spectrum. And I was calling because I had Spectrum at like 2 apartments ago. And I was like, oh my God, this is going to be so funny to tell people about after, right?
And she was like, yeah.
She was like, no, I need to go.
You know what, though? The fact that she asked you that question tells me she must deal with that all the time. I'm sure it's a very common problem.
And that was the nicest way to be like, you're such a fucking idiot. Like, you do not have this service, but I'm not going to tell you that. I'm going to make you realize that on your own.
Have you ever had a customer service job?
I have not had a customer service job. I mean, lifeguarding. So I was customer servicing people's lives and their swimming experiences.
Sure.
But that was about it.
That totally counts.
No,
yeah.
I don't think I would be good because I know in customer service, don't you have to clear like a certain number of calls or issues per day? You have like a quota you have to hit?
Probably. My only like relevant experience with it was in college. My work study job was the phone-a-thon, like raising money for my very nice like private college.
I love that.
Which was like laughable. But yeah, we had quotas and it sucked. Marley actually had a job in New York where he was cold calling. I forget exactly for what. It was like, I think it was kind of fraudulent. It was like he was selling ad spots for this sports pamphlet newspaper thing that didn't actually exist. And he was
Jen Shaw.
I know. No, exactly that type of scheme. I mean, this was probably, he lived in New York, like 15 years ago. But it gave him such anxiety that he had to quit. And when he went in to quit, they were like, oh, good, we were about to fire you because he couldn't make the quotas.
Okay, that's surprising because you know what, though? Marley, while he does have golden retriever energy, I feel like he would never want to force somebody to do something.
Well, exactly. And you have to be a little bit.
Yeah.
But I guess that's not really a customer service job because he was not the one servicing people.
Customer service is when somebody comes to you with a problem.
Yeah, I think any job like that where it included phone calls or asking for money or fixing someone else's problem, I think I would be terrible at that.
You absolutely would. You would be like, fuck you. I don't want to do this.
Exactly.
Like, figure it out yourself.
Like, you fucking dumbass.
Yeah.
What are you bothering me with this for? I only work here.
It's like sometimes when I call my sister and she answers, yes. I feel like
me
that's
and
how
your
you would
sister are
answer. Very similar.
Me and Casey are very similar. I mean, it's the oldest daughter. It's that eldest daughter
1000%.
energy we really connect on.
But I feel like if you had a customer service line, you would answer the phone like, yes.
What?
Like, why are you?
Sometimes I have to catch myself with my kids even because, like, they just say mom so many times a day.
Oh my God, it's crazy.
Even though 2 of them are at school full time, it's like, I don't know how they fit it in.
It's crazy.
But they do. Hundreds of times per day. And sometimes they'll be like, Mom! And I'll be like, what?
Yeah.
And they're like, look at this picture I drew for you. It says I love you.
Right.
Like, oh my God, I'm a monster.
That is always the worst.
Oh God, it just will bring you right down. But
then it's the time where you're like, what? Or like, yes. And then they say something dumb like,
I spilled oatmeal in the carpet.
Yeah. Or like, play with me. It's like, just give me a fucking minute.
Okay, I'm coming to LA next week. Are you excited?
Yes, Rachel. I'm so excited.
I can't wait.
I wish you were coming for longer.
I do too. Actually, Marley today
to get out of here.
Pretty much. He was like, you should go on a trip soon.
Like, we're working on it, babe. We told people in Australia to send for us, and no one is calling for us.
I know. I'm kind of now regretting only booking one day, but I'll still be there. I'll be there like 2 kind of full days.
No,
Just
you
one
don't
night.
land until like 11:45 or something, and then you have to go straight into your past life regression at 1.
I know that's true, and that's like a 4-hour ordeal.
Yeah, that's a 4-hour journey through the cosmos, Rachel.
I'm very scared.
Don't be scared. It's going to be so amazing. I can't wait to hear about it.
I know.
So-
I'll do a full update on the pod too of like
Well,
what
we'll
my past life was.
Tell people is Rachel's doing her past life regression on Wednesday. I'm doing mine on Friday. So we're both doing one.
Right. And so we'll record them, I guess. Well, we could even just do an episode where we both go through them.
Yeah, I guess
Instead of doing mine on one episode and yours on another, we could just do a whole.
unless it's one of those things where it's like, you know,
or is it
somebody
like a
tells you their
dream?
dream?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like
we're
nobody
like,
actually cares.
buckle up. This is the coolest dream you'll ever hear. And that's like everybody's immediately like, this is the worst. Like, how did I get into here? How do I leave this conversation? It's like every customer service rep I talk to is like, why did I pick up this phone? What decision led me to this point in my life?
Now
like
she's
that
telling
kind
me
of
about
thing.
her dreams. No, that's a very good point. So maybe we just do like a very quick little recap and
Let's take a poll.
Suffer through. Okay, that's a good idea.
Like, do you want to hear about it? Do you not?
Totally. That's a very good idea.
But then if we can always do also like a bonus episode of that, and we can just do a live LA episode together.
Sure. That's a great idea.
We'll figure it out.
I love that. We'll figure it out. What is going on with you this week?
Well, before we get into me, I wanted to ask you, Rachel, because yesterday was your daughter's birthday, was Noe's birthday.
Mm-hmm. It was. I can't believe she's 6. It's so weird.
That's so crazy.
I know.
To me, I feel like once you cross 5 is a real dividing line.
Yeah, like little kid to big kid.
Yeah, and then when you start thinking, my son's turning 5 in 2 weeks, and I was thinking about how in 2 years, he's going to be 7. It's like the ages that they're going to be, that they're getting close to, that's what freaks me out, because those are big ages.
I know. It's very weird. It's also funny, though, because she is so mature. As you know, like she talks like she's a teenager already. And she's just very, I don't know, she's just very like wise and mature for her age. So she, to me, has felt like spiritually 7 or 8 for a very long time. So it just felt very mismatched at the same time. Like, I can't believe she's 6, but also how is she only 6?
Right.
But yeah, we had a great little day. She is definitely her mother's daughter. She wanted to get a manicure, pedicure. She wanted sushi for dinner. She wanted a movie. She wanted ice cream instead of cake. We just had the best day. I was like, wow, this is so easy.
Queen behavior. Well, that's why it's like, it is a very fine line of, you know, being friends with your kids. And
oh my God,
my mom was very clear that she is not our friend when we were growing up.
Oh, same.
Very clear.
Very explicit in that.
Very explicit. There were no questions. And now I cannot go more than a day without talking to my mom.
Yeah.
Like, we are so close now. And I had friends whose moms were kind of like blurring that line a little bit and were more friends. And then, of course, I was a huge Gilmore Girls fan. So I'm like, oh my God, why wasn't my mom a 15-year-old when she had me so we could be best friends? Like, how fucking dare you wait until you're married and in your 30s? But now I'm like so thankful that my mom held that boundary. And that is something I want to do too. But it's hard when they're little and they're fun. And I think obviously you can be friends with them at that age.
Right.
But there does then kind of come a point where it has to like diverge a little bit.
Yeah.
And be less. And that doesn't mean you can't still do, like, even though my mom made it clear, I'm not your friend, I'm your mom. We still did like so many fun things together.
Yeah, totally. Like my mom would take me shopping and out to lunch and like stuff like that. And it would be very fun. But she also was like not playing. And if I had to go to a sleepover, she would be the mom that was calling the other person's moms to make sure that they were going to be home. And like, she was very strict.
Even as a high schooler?
Even as a high schooler, I had a curfew that I had like an 11 o'clock curfew till I was a senior in high school. Like I was the like loser with the strict parents.
Wait, but you went, the key, I never had a curfew in high school because I never came back to my own house. I just went to somebody else's house and stayed there.
I did that as much as I could.
Yeah.
But most of the time, especially my senior year, well, I shouldn't say most of the time. It was like 50-50 probably. But half the time I was with my friends. Some of the time I was with like everyone. And then some of the time I was just with my boyfriend, and they were very
Right.
anti sleeping at my boyfriend's house. So I had to come home.
Oh, yeah. I don't think you should have been sleeping at your boyfriend's house in high school.
Okay, but there are a lot of people that feel very strongly about this in the
Okay.
opposite way.
know.
I actually got a very strongly worded DM one time about it. I forget what I was talking about. What the hell would I have been talking about on my
You're like,
baby
why
sleep
would
page that someone would have messaged me about this? I don't remember. I must have been talking about like being in high school or something. And someone was like, why wouldn't you have just slept at your boyfriend's house? And I was like, my parents would have never
No.
let me do that ever.
No.
And she was like, oh, I was doing that as a 16-year-old. And I was like, no
Okay.
judgment. Again, sex positive, but like my parents would just never allow that ever.
My mom, well, again, it wasn't a concern for her, for me in high school. But once I got to
Which,
college,
by the way, is the dream. Like,
the
honestly, dream daughter.
That's why I had such a great high school experience, because I went to an all-girls school.
Yeah.
So boys were not part of the
Not on the
equation.
radar. Yeah, same.
And that's why I'm so delusional now, because I had nobody telling me that my
Anything.
delusions were wrong.
No, it's so true. Going to an all-girls school is such a unique experience, and I'm so glad that I did. And actually, my senior year, I just remembered this. My senior year, my boyfriend was away at college because he was a year older than me. So my senior year, I was like really living because I was just with my girlfriends.
So fun.
That was the best. Yeah.
That is the best. I will say, once we reached college and I had a boyfriend, I think there was a time we went on vacation. I can't remember what the logistics of it were, but my mom was like, if you're in college and you have a boyfriend, of course you're allowed to sleep in the same room. Like,
Right.
I'm not, if we were coming home and
I mean,
visiting.
you're an adult at that point.
Exactly. She wasn't getting, I think high school, I don't think there should be boyfriend, girlfriend sleepovers. I think in college, though, it's crazy. Or like, even when people go back and visit their parents, for holidays, and they're in their 20s and their parents make them sleep in separate rooms. Like,
that's crazy.
Also, because nobody's like, oh my God, I'm so horny for you in my parents' house.
No, like, let's just do it all night. That's so funny because we just watched a few weeks ago for Christmas. We were watching The Family Stone, and Sarah Jessica Parker is like so fucking insufferable in that movie. She's like in her mid-30s and requesting a different bedroom because she's like in the guy's parents' house. Have you not seen this movie? You're looking at me like you have no idea what I've.
No, I saw it when it came out. I do not. My face was too. That is so weird.
Oh, you look like you have no idea what I'm talking about. That is the best Christmas movie.
Strata.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
know
love a Strata. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good. No, it's, and I don't know. Me and Marley have talked about this before, and we have actually kind of different ideas about it because he grew up with like very sex positive parents and single parents because his parents were not together, so he was dealing with two different households.
Oh, that's right.
So he was very easily able to like lie to one of them and stay at his girlfriend's houses.
Right.
And his idea is like, well, they're teenagers, they're gonna have sex, so like, do you want them doing it in the back of a car in like the Jack in the Box parking lot? And I'm kind of like, yeah, that's a rite of passage.
Exactly. Like if
our kids are too good for that, okay.
Yeah. No, like, yes, literally, exactly. That's what they should be doing. I think, and I'm saying this now, and it's gonna be one of those things where it's like, fast forward 15 years later, I'm like, what a fucking idiot.
Yeah, totally.
But at my house, you will not be having your significant other sleep over. I will not allow you to sleep over your significant others, but I'm not going to call the house you tell me you're sleeping at.
Right.
I would hope that the parent of the other, like, that I would know that parent and be like, hey, I'm not comfortable with that. So like, I need
and that you're on the same page.
Yeah, you to help me hold that boundary. Like, if you wake up and my daughter is at your house,
kick her out.
Yeah. Kick her out and tell her to get to Jack in the Box. Like, that's the only place that's happening. Which, by the way, this conversation, a quick plug. I know we usually do housekeeping at the end, but we did our book club episode with Caroline Chambers for Conform.
So iconic.
And I mentioned our first times because somebody, capital F, capital T.
The way that we all somehow just revealed how we had sex for the first time on a book club episode with someone we've never met before is so classic us. It's like she's going to really regret coming on our podcast. But it was such a fun episode. It was really great. So if anybody wants to listen, even if you didn't read the book, I feel like even if you didn't read the book, it's a really fun conversation.
Oh, totally.
And it didn't even really spoil all that much. Like, I feel like even if you end up wanting to read the book after because she sells it so well,
Oh,
you
100%.
totally could just read it.
100%.
It wouldn't be ruined. Yeah.
It was very funny, and it was very funny for each of us to be like sharing the examples of what our first experiences were like. And to me, though, I'm like, yes, there are certain things, I think we talked about this once too, like certain things in life that should be awkward and uncomfortable and not great and like
and not perfect. Yeah.
Not perfect. And that's being a teenager and being a young
messy.
adult. It's messy, and you have to have those experiences. And that's what also makes us funny later when we have to go through being so awkward.
It's so true. It's so true. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Like, there are so many things about how I was raised that I feel like I would want to do differently and that we do differently. But there are other things that I'm like, wow, they really got it, actually. And I understand. Yeah.
You know what I always find to be fascinating to me when it's like, I want my kids to know if they're drunk at a party to call me and I'll come pick them up. My parents did not relay that message to us. And at the same time, I'm like, I don't want my kids calling me if they're drunk at a party either and need me to come pick them up.
There's Uber and Waymo now. Like, we're living in a different time.
So true. A very different time. But I just was like, I don't know. There's certain things where, again, it's like, I don't want to know and I'm not going to chase after you.
Right.
But
you would hope that by that point in time that you've built enough like trust with them where they would know that they could come to you if they were really in trouble and that you wouldn't get mad. Yeah.
Now, that's the thing, because I do also think people really oversell a bit of like, my kids know they can come to me about anything and I'm a safe space and all of that. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't want them to come to me with everything. I think it's important for some things to be secret or something
until they're in their 20s and then they can just let it all out. Yeah.
Can reveal it on their podcast with their friends.
Exactly.
Or it has to be something that, again, I'm talking about like not serious things. If it's something serious, of course, I want my children to know they can come to me and I won't judge them. But I'm also like, shouldn't some things be like secrets to teenagers?
For sure. Yeah. Like I don't know. I had my relationship with my mom in high school was pretty tough actually, but I didn't ever feel like I couldn't go to them if I was seriously in trouble. Like I got in a car. There was a hit and run incident when I was at high school.
With a person?
No, a parked car. A parked car.
Okay.
But I knew the person, so it was super awkward.
Did they see you?
Yes, and I left.
Oh my God.
I was leaving my boyfriend's house, and
oh my God,
his dad's best friend was over, and I was pulling out, and I had like just gotten my license a few weeks earlier, and I had already had an accident, and that one was at my workplace. So I was, I was not in a good place, but so I was pulling out and I don't know what happened, but I scraped the entire side of this guy's car.
Oh my God, Rachel.
And I panicked and just left.
When you first heard that first scrape, you weren't like, stop.
That's what everybody said.
You were just like, I'm going to keep going.
That's what everybody said. Like, why didn't you just stop when you felt the first little tap? And I was like, I don't know. But I didn't. And I panicked and left, called my boyfriend and said, I just hit Marty's car.
Oh, Marty.
You got to tell him. It was so awkward. And then, but I did go home. I was like sobbing hysterically. I was so scared. And I went home and immediately went into my parents' room. They were like watching TV in bed. They see me just sobbing. And they're like, fuck, she's pregnant.
Oh, God.
And then I was like, no, I'm not pregnant. I just got in a car accident. And they were like, oh, thank God. So it was actually fine because they were so happy that was all it was.
I love that. You got to set the bar really high or low with it's going to be a pregnancy scare.
Exactly.
Just you hit someone's car.
Exactly.
No, see, it's like that I want to know, but I don't want us to be like casually joking about like you drinking at a party on a weekend. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I don't really feel like I want to know that either. But Marley feels very differently. So it's like, I feel like it's so unfair because he's going to end up being the cool dad.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be the neurotic
mom.
I
don't know. Like, is that cool?
Is that cool? I don't know.
I'm
just hoping, I hope my kids are just like bookish and just like into hanging out with their friends at the library or something, and I just don't have to worry about any of this.
No, 100%. And again, I know I say this now and it will change when I get there. And
well, exactly. It's like before you have a baby, you have all these ideas of what it's going to be like to have a
course.
baby, and you're going to like do no screen time, and you're going to make your own purees, and you're going to be sleeping through the night by 3 months, and then you have the baby and you're like, what the fuck? Like, what were you thinking? And I think having a teenager is probably the same thing.
I think the exact same. So it's like, yes, I want them to tell me things, but serious things, but also like, I don't want to be like, oh my God, what flavor of vodka did you have at Marty's house last night, girl? Like,
no.
Let me whip you up a Cosmo while we chat.
Yeah, you're talking about like the Mean Girls mom.
Yes.
Like Regina's mom.
1,000%. That is what I'm thinking.
We're not that type of cool mom.
No.
We're not that cool.
No.
We're cool, but not like that.
We're cool to ourselves.
Right.
Okay, speaking of moms, I actually have a very interesting question that I did want to circle back to because we talked about the Ashley Tisdale toxic mom group.
Yes.
And I was just talking to a friend the other day, and she was telling me about some kind of mom friend drama. And she and I had the same reaction, which was like, but we're moms. Like, how is this drama happening? Like, drama should not be happening like this. We are grown adults and we're moms.
Right.
And I just got into this. I was wondering, do you think when it comes to like petty friend drama, should moms be above that? Or it's like, do we need that because we need a little like spice in our lives and we're like chasing that high? Or should it be like, none of this matters because we are moms and we know what's actually important, which is our children, and like,
right, it's like a different perspective. Well, that's a good question. I mean, I feel like being moms, if you're having kids and you're like, what, late 20s, 30s, even into your 40s, I think there's probably this expectation that just you're a more mature person by default because you're older. Like, you're not a teenager. You're not in your early 20s anymore where there's like all this friendship drama. So I don't know if it's that you're a mom or just that you're a grown woman with like a developed frontal lobe. But I don't know. Like the drama to me, I just feel like I don't have time for that kind of thing.
Well, that's to me where the mom part of it comes into play too.
Right. It's like the mental and emotional energy that would take from me. I just like, I would rather just peace out and be like, okay, we're done then because I can't do this.
Totally. And I think about like when I went through my friendship breakup and I had my son, but he was a year maybe. And I think about the way I felt then and I'm like, oh my God, I could never like also have that going on in my life right now.
Right.
But then sometimes I'm like, oh, does that keep me not wanting to have many friends because I'm like, I can't mentally take that on. Now, by the way, I should say, but I love it for other people when I can be an outside observer. Like
to the drama. For sure.
What was her name? Mary Kondo, the Spark Joy cleaner.
I love mess.
That gif of her where she's like, I love mess. And that's me.
That is.
I don't want to be in it.
No, same. I have zero interest in being in it. And I feel like to me, it would be a giant red flag if I was in like a friendship with someone or in a group and it was constantly, like shit talking or like all of the stuff that was described in that Ashley Tisdale group. Like if that stuff was happening in a group that I was in and I was postpartum, I'd be like, I'm going to just see my way out. Like this is too much.
I would be like, I'm not going to respond, but I'm going to watch every single
I'm going to stay and just watch. Yeah, I'm going to just be a ghost.
As long as it's not about me.
Exactly.
Did you have, this is such an unconnected segue. Did you do a diary or a journal when you were growing up? Were you one of those girls?
Yes, I was. I loved a journal. I loved to write and talk about myself.
Okay.
Loved it.
Funny because I was not a diary or journal girl because every time I was writing something, I was writing it from the perspective of somebody is going to read this and be like, what an amazing
like you're Anne Frank.
Exactly, minus the Holocaust. But people were going to like, their lives were going to be changed when my journal was discovered. So it was very performative. And I just was like, this is exhausting and I cannot get into this.
Mine is so painfully boring.
Are they in high school or how old were you?
Oh, no. This was like when I was first starting to learn how to write. So probably, I think most of my journaling was between like second or third and eighth grade and then or maybe seventh grade and then I kind of got over it. But if you look at one of my journals.
Well, if you're in second grade, what are you journaling about?
Exactly. One of my journals has nothing but stats from the Olympics that year.
Oh, that's cute though. That's the kind of thing I would have done too, because I was very into
I would write the
Yeah.
weightlifting record was set.
You know
It
what?
was so exciting.
Because that's the kind of journaling, if I did, it was like very Harriet the Spy of like, I'm putting
Yes.
information in and all of that.
Yes.
Now, if you, going back to teenagers, if you found a journal of your daughter's. in
Okay,
her
this
room,
is actually a very big fight in my mother-daughter relationship with my own mom because she did read all of our journals.
And then told you she read them?
She must have, because I found out somehow. Like, I never caught her red-handed, I don't think,
Right.
but she definitely read them.
Okay.
And a lot of what was in there was,
I hate my mom.
I hate my mom.
You and my sister are so It's crazy.
Well, because the eldest daughter gets it the hardest. Like,
Totally.
my sisters had totally different parents than I had. Yeah, so that was like it did feel, and I'm over it, but it did feel like a very big betrayal in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So that definitely informed how I will hope. And I say this now, but it's like, if I saw a journal just there,
Right?
it would be so hard to not read it.
Right?
But I would really, really try to restrain myself and not.
I know. Because my thing is
Although, it's hard because, like, if I had a teenage daughter who was super, like, depressed, withdrawn, showing
Yes.
symptoms that were, like, worrying to me, then I probably would.
yes, I think that is a good like line of where it's like, I'm not doing this just because I'm nosy.
It's because I'm worried.
It's because I'm worried. But then also
Yeah.
as moms, aren't we just always worried about everything anyways?
Yeah, probably.
So isn't that just like our baseline?
Probably.
But I feel like, again, it's kind of the, I don't know, now I'm already, you would
I'll
hope
just discourage journaling so that I don't have to ever make this decision. I'll just
we're going to
casually
burn
throw
any
out, like,
paper in the
I'll just
house.
casually be like, journaling is for losers, right? So that they just have no interest ever, and then that way
Rachel, you solved it.
I'm free of that decision.
Journaling is for losers. Do not have friends. If you ever have sex, you're going to immediately die. Stay at home with mom and dad. The doors are
Gosh,
locked.
we're so progressive, aren't we? We really walk the walk.
We really do. Okay. I did, because it was Noe's birthday, I wanted you to share her birth story. And then
Oh
I
my God.
also, as I am pregnant, I'm big in this like baby naming.
Oh my gosh, it's so fun.
Sure. I find it to be very stressful. So I also wanted to
hard.
hear about how you came
Chose
up
their
with
names.
their names, because all of your kids' names are not weird names, but they are not
They're a little
common
different.
names.
Yeah. So, okay. So I'll get to Noe's birth story. First, I'll just start chronologically. So Otto's name, Marley and I used to be in a book club together with
Just
our,
the two of you?
no,
Oh.
no, with our roommates and some other girls. So he was the only man that was allowed. But we were in this little book club while I was pregnant. And one of the books we were reading while I was pregnant was called Fates and Furies. And the main character's name in that book, who actually, now that I think back, had a really weird and problematic relationship with his mom.
Oh boy.
But it's neither here nor there. But the main character's name was Lotto.
Oh,
So,
okay.
and I don't know. I thought it was so cute. I like loved the way it looked in print. And so I suggested that name once we found out he was a boy. And Marley was like, yeah, but it sounds like the lottery. And I was like, oh, well, what about Otto?
So you suggested full lotto.
I suggested full lotto, but then he was like,
Oh.
that sounds like the lotto, the lottery. That's kind
Right.
of weird. And I was like, oh, you're right. But what about just Otto then? And so that was at like, we had just done the blood test. We did the NIPT test for him. And so that was very early. It was maybe
that's
like 13 weeks or
Yeah,
something,
if not earlier.
or even less.
Yeah.
And so we were like, okay, we really like that one. And we like kept kind of looking casually, but there was never a name that topped that one for us. We just really liked it. And we liked that it was kind of an alliteration with his
Yeah.
last name. And so that's just what we went with. I'll never forget when we told my mom his name. We were at the hospital and we were like, his
boy.
name is Otto. And she was like, Odo? She like couldn't say it. And we were like, no, Otto, O-T-T-O. And she's like, oh, I've never heard that name before. And we were like, she's like, what is that? And we were like, I don't know. I think it's German or something. And she's like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't run in many German circles. So I've No shit. Like, you live in Connecticut. What are you talking about?
Oh my God,
she had
so funny.
such a hard time. She had such a hard time pronouncing it for the longest time.
A very straightforward name.
I know. If you knew my mom, it would make sense. Yeah. So anyway, so that was his name.
So funny.
So then Noe, who, if anybody missed it on my Instagram, I did share a link to the blog post that I have where I wrote out her birth story. So she was a precipitous home birth, which was not our plan. We had, and as a doula, I wonder if you see this, I had contractions with her for like an entire weekend.
Oh, yeah.
And then they stopped.
Yeah. Very common.
Okay. That really tripped me out.
Yeah.
So then when they started again, I was kind of like, oh, we have time.
Time in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't have time. So I was in the tub. I woke up at like 6 a.m. feeling contractions. I was like, I'm going to get in the tub. I'm going to have my little iPad playing Real Housewives and I'm going to just chill for a while. Got out of the tub and I was like, oh no.
How much time had passed in the tub?
Probably an hour.
Okay.
And then I got on the toilet and just like chilled there for a while. We called my mother-in-law to come take Otto so that we could get ready to go to the hospital. So that we could take Otto. And Marley like started to get the car ready. We were living in an apartment building at the time, so we didn't have parking. So we had, our car was not right out front.
And
it was
if
like a few blocks away.
San Francisco parking is insane.
Horrific.
And like
it's horrific.
Getting a spot a couple blocks away from where you live is like a good parking spot in San Francisco.
And this apartment where we lived was it was 1 block away from Golden Gate Park, which is a very densely populated area. There's tons of traffic, especially in the morning. It was like rush hour. This was like 7 a.m. So
and a lot of one-way streets in San Francisco too.
Yes, exactly. So he had to go on this mission to go get our car.
Yeah.
And like pack our car with our hospital bag and pillows and all that stuff. So while he was out, I was like, this baby is coming literally right now. So I yelled to Otto, who was 2. I said, get me my phone. And somehow he did. He listened to that instruction for the first time in his young life. And I called 911 from the toilet. And I was like, I'm having a baby. She's coming right now. I was supposed to be going to the hospital, but I'm not going to make it. And I was freaking out, screaming. It was like the ring of fire at that point. It was like transition period. Like, holy shit, this is the most intense thing I've ever felt.
And what was the person on the other end saying to you?
She said, calm down, ma'am.
Okay.
So helpful. She was like, get a bunch of clean towels. I was like, bitch, like I can't move.
Like, I'm
what are you
drowning right now into the toilet bowl.
And she was like, where are you? I was like, I'm on my toilet. And she's like, okay, can you move to the floor and get in a kneeling position? And I was like, okay. So I moved to the floor, crawled myself over to the tub, kneeled over the tub. Her head literally popped out.
Oh, and is Otto's in the bathroom with you?
Yes, he's in the bathroom staring at me, screaming and crying because I am screaming.
Of course.
And he's scared.
And he's seeing a head coming out of you.
He's seeing a head coming out. Marley at that exact moment comes in, looks into the bathroom, sees Noe's head facing him, looking at him, just hanging out of me. So he comes over, he grabs her head and he says, push. And I push the rest of her out.
Wow. Because I was like, how many men would see that and then just like try to slowly back out the door? Like, oh, only the baby saw me. Like, Rachel didn't see me yet. Like, I can still go. This baby can't tell her she saw me. Like, that's amazing that Marley was like calm and composed and was like.
It's wild. Wow. So he pulled her out. He delivered her. He handed her to me. And he took Otto because Otto was very distraught. And like literally 30 seconds later, the paramedics came in and like checked us and made sure we were okay and stuff because she was kind of gray and stunned. Like she wasn't making a ton of noise yet.
Scary.
Because it was so fast.
Right.
But once the paramedics came in, they were like, oh, she looks good. And I was like, okay, thank God. And then they loaded us onto the ambulance. And...
So did you deliver your placenta in the ambulance or where did you deliver your placenta?
No, at the hospital. So we lived very close to the hospital.
Okay.
So I got on
the ambulance. In that long?
Yeah. So I got on the ambulance. They cut the cord, the umbilical cord.
Oh, okay.
While we were in the ambulance, and then got to the hospital. They were like, "Oh, we were waiting for you." I was like, "Yeah." And then once they got us into a room, I delivered the placenta like pretty much immediately.
Wow. Because usually, if the baby is still attached to the cord, and the cord is obviously still attached to the placenta, your body will feel like, I have to get this out, and it
Yes.
helps deliver it a lot faster.
Yes, that makes sense.
So that's probably good that they cut the cord then, so that if you didn't want to deliver the placenta in front of the EMTs.
Yeah, which I really didn't. They had
Yeah, I
like
don't
seen
blame you.
enough.
Yeah.
They had seen.
So not only, Rachel, did you have a home birth, you had a free birth.
Literally. Oh my God. But wait, did you? Okay, this is like
Yes,
maybe
that
too
article
dark, but holy shit.
about the free birth
The
cult.
Free Birth Society cult?
Yes.
Oh my God. That
So
was the most
crazy.
insane thing I've ever read.
That's so great. As a doula, I think physiological birth is beautiful and amazing. And
Sure.
if people can experience it unmedicated and naturally one time in their lives, it will change their lives. Granted, I also love epidurals for people. I love being induced for people. I love all of that. But I can't get behind like not even having a midwife or a doula. And not just a doula there, because a doula can't, like, as doulas, we are trained, like, you don't touch the baby. Like, you are not a medical provider. Like, you are there for support and
emotional
advocacy
support. Yeah.
And all of that. I couldn't imagine not having anybody there. And maybe it's because I read all of these books set in like the Middle Ages, but birth is so beautiful, but also things can happen.
Oh my God. Did you watch Hamnet?
Well, I read it.
Okay. I won't, give anything away, but that just made me so grateful for modern medicine. Like, I cannot even tell you.
Yeah.
Like, holy fucking shit. And I think that's part of the problem is like, and I'll get back to Noe's name, but
yes,
I think that's part of the problem is all of these women romanticize, oh, this is how we're meant to give birth. This is how we used to give birth. It's like, actually, no. Like, read anything from anthropology, like any anthropological text. Women never gave birth alone. They were always in a big group with other women.
And
for support.
Like a midwife. Like, we've had midwives
someone who is experienced in giving birth.
Exactly. Like, midwives have been around for thousands of years.
Exactly.
So
like giving birth by yourself in the woods is not a fucking thing.
No. Although I did used to love, there was a reality show that was like giving birth in the woods. I don't remember the title, but it was pretty straightforward.
And look, like, I'm generalizing. I obviously don't know the history of birth everywhere for all of time. That could have happened somewhere. But I just feel like that's like a very concerning thing. It's a very concerning trend that I see people doing. It's like, oh, well, it used to be like this, so it should just always be like this. It's like, yeah, well, most babies didn't live till they were 5.
Why people had to have 20 kids and hope that they
hope that some survived. Yeah.
No,
that was terrible.
It's just wild, and I think it's like home births are amazing and beautiful if that's safe for you and your baby, but like always have a midwife.
Yeah, and like an emergency plan if something like maybe live close to the hospital if you can, or I don't know. And that's a question I get a lot actually is like, oh, well, if you did that for your second and it was like such a good experience and everything was fine, why didn't you choose a home birth for your third? And I was kind of just like, well, I didn't have a home birth on purpose. Like I was very scared, and my husband was very scared.
Right.
And it very easily could have not been okay.
Right.
And like, I just don't, for me, it never felt worth the risk.
I would do a home birth 100%. I'm so into home births. I think they are so beautiful. Again, I'm lucky that I live in LA where there's also like amazing midwives, and there are OBGYNs that will come attend your home birth also.
Oh, that's cool.
Which is really cool. And so if somebody's listening and they're wanting to have a home birth, or they did, like, I love home births. But people ask me that same question too, because I had an unmedicated second delivery where most of it was at home. Like, I got to the hospital 10 centimeters. And so people have asked me like, oh, well, would you have a home birth? And I always say, yeah, but like my husband, I just can't get him behind it. And I feel like I can't then take the pressure of what if something were to go wrong, God forbid. And he's like, well, I didn't want this to happen in the first place.
Yeah, no, I think it's fair for them to have a say. I mean, I think probably a lot of feminists feel differently, but I do think it's fair for them to have a say. Like, if, or again, to me, it's like the same thing of finding out the gender. If it's like, if one person feels very strongly and the other person is like, I could go either way, like, I would love a home birth, but I'm not like, I need to have a home birth. So it felt fine for me to be like, okay, I very rarely listen to what you say, but in this case, I respect what you're saying. I will give you a say. And I also like, I do see the appeal to a home birth. And I said this in my blog post, I think, like, part of why my first birth was so hard, I think, is because I was in the hospital in bright lights with lots of like checks and interventions and things that I just like didn't know better than to just, decline some of. And it was during the day. And it
that's
just
not
it
vibey.
wasn't a cozy vibe. I don't think
Yeah.
I felt safe. I think I felt very afraid.
Yes.
And that really prolonged my labor with him, I think. And with my second two, I did, obviously the whole thing with the second one at home. But with the third also, I was home during the contractions. Like I left at an appropriate time, but I didn't have to spend tons of time in the hospital, which was really nice. So I do get it, but
well, that's why too. Like anytime I would work with somebody, I would say, listen, you could be in crazy labor at home. And the second you walk into the hospital and you see the bright lights, your body's shutting down because your body doesn't feel safe anymore. And it is so huge to, people think it sounds ridiculous that part of your birth plan should be setting a vibe, but it absolutely should be.
It matters so much.
It matters so much. The music, turning the lights off and getting a lot of people are very into the galaxy lights that if you recall Raquel on Vanderpump Rules had going in her apartment when Tom Sandoval came over after Sandoval was revealed.
You know what? If it's good enough for Raquel, it's good enough for my birth.
Exactly. But you really have to do that. But
that's
just, I've obviously have birth on the brain because I'm going to give birth. So,
yeah,
which is something I keep forgetting about.
Very soon. Not very
Rachel,
soon, but
shut your mouth.
Okay, so Noe's name, just to close that loop, was, so I really wanted Noah. Marley really wanted Joey. We both had we were very into the androgynous names at the time, I guess. And so we said, well, what if we combine them and do Noe? And then it has an extra special meaning because Noe Valley is the neighborhood that we lived in.
I love that.
So,
I think it's such a good name.
I think it's really cute too. It's Zoe is so common, but I feel like Noe is just as cute and it's not as common.
Just as cute. Yeah. And then how'd you come up with Lenny?
Lenny was, I really liked Penny.
Cute.
But it was becoming very popular. So I was kind of trying to think of alternatives. And my grandfather, who I was very close to, his name was Lionel. So I was like, what about kind of a twist on that and doing Lenny? So we just landed on that. And then everybody always asks if that's a nickname for anything. And it's not. I'm like, we should have probably given her a full proper name, but.
It's so funny because my friend just had a baby and she and I were talking about nicknames. And I feel like a lot of people, I'm a person too of I don't like to commit to a name until I meet the baby because I feel like and some
it's
people,
good to have a list of a few and then you can kind of choose.
I like to get the vibe. And some people will not only have the name but they'll also have the nickname picked for and it's different if it's Matthew but they're going to call them Matt. That's pretty straightforward.
Right.
But I will never forget, all roads lead back to the Kardashians. When Courtney had Penelope and Kim had North, I remember they had their Easter thing, where they get those crazy Easter eggs or whatever. And Courtney had Nellie for Penelope and Kim had Nori for North. They were forcing these nicknames on these babies. And now they didn't, then eventually Penelope goes by P and North went by Northy or whatever. But I feel like you cannot force a nickname.
No, that's such a good point.
It has to come organically.
It has to come up organically. I mean, we call Lenny Len, which I actually hate and would never choose, but it's just what rolls off the tongue.
Yeah.
So you can't force it.
But I remember when I had my daughter, my mom came in and she was immediately giving her a nickname. And I looked at her and I said, I did not approve that nickname. Back off. You are putting a nickname on this baby and this is not her nickname.
No,
I almost think the nickname can be more important and more of that person than their actual name.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
I've really been thinking about the Duggars of 19 Kids and Counting recently, and I feel like they really got it right in a couple of ways. And let me explain. Okay. One, they just picked a letter and every child was named a name after that letter.
Oh, really?
You didn't know this? They have 19 J-named children.
Wait, that actually does sound familiar, but I've never watched it.
Okay, well, that's fair. And I'm not going to advocate for that because there's a lot of darkness there. A lot of darkness. But it's hard to come up with names. And I like the idea of you guys, that was a great, if you knew you were going to have 19 kids, a gaggle of kids, that was a great way to go about it.
And J is a great letter. There are so many J names to choose from.
And you can also pick a name that isn't spelled with a J and then just put a J in front of it, like Ginger.
They have a Ginger with a J?
They have a Ginger with a J.
Wow. The creativity.
Yeah, I know. But I am really in a lost place of names. And, should the names all go together and work as sibling? Like, do the sibling names need to go together?
They need to all have a similar vibe, which makes it hard.
A similar vibe, or can they be totally off the wall because it's just about the individual? Should they match with the last name? It's like, it's very complicated.
A lot of factors.
A lot of factors. So I do really want, there's this person that does influencer baby names.
Yes,
and,
Emily Doodles or whatever.
Yeah, and I'm like,
yeah,
God,
you should do it.
Me? I know. I did email her.
Good.
I think
it would be nice to just have somebody float some ideas. I mean, do you guys have a short list of ideas, like the discarded names from the first two kids?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, you need help then.
I got nothing. And I had criteria when I had my son. I was like, okay, the name needs to hit. It needs to be good for when they're little, like cute for when they're little, good for if they're like a hot teenager, and good for if they're a CEO of a Fortune 500 company. And that's
so hard. To hit
hard.
all of those is very difficult. You actually nailed it, though.
Thank you. I thought I did
with
too.
his name. Yeah,
Thank
no,
you.
now that you say that out loud, you definitely nailed it.
Right?
Yeah.
And
I mean, her name is great too, but I think you're very lucky with your last name that pretty much anything will go with it.
So good. It's good.
It's so good.
Yeah, I am very lucky. It's one of the reasons why I was like, I guess I'll marry you.
I would totally marry somebody for that name. Are you kidding me?
I know,
it's so good.
Name. There's somebody on Instagram that's like Mama Wilder, and I clicked, and Wilder isn't even her last name, and I was like,
no. Also, that account is wild.
Yeah. 100%. Okay, wrapping up. Do we have? Oh, you know what? I do think, Rachel, we should do a poll for January books because we talked about doing one, but I think we should do a poll and throw.
We had a couple of ideas that we were thinking about, so yeah, we can take it to the poll. So if you guys want to join the broadcast channel, it's at Wilder Beginnings, and you just tap on the little broadcast channel in her bio, and you can join the chat, and then you can vote on what book we choose.
Yes, and please continue to rate and review. If you haven't reviewed or rated yet, it actually does really help. It like pushes their podcast up on the rankings so it can get to more people, so we can have more people in our crew.
Which is exactly what we want.
Yeah.
Somebody wrote a review that was so cute, though. It was like, I'm scared you guys are going to get too famous and blow up.
Yeah.
Like, girl,
and we love the
worry.
ones that start with like, this podcast is so stupid, but I love it.
Also, that's exactly what we're going for.
Exactly.
It's totally intentional.
On the YouTube, somebody said, I love when they giggle at the same time. And it happens a lot. And this one, I feel like this episode had a lot of giggling.
A lot. Wait, one last thing.
Yeah.
That I forgot to ask you about. Are you excited for the top model documentary?
Oh my God.
When I saw that, I screamed.
We were all rooting for you.
Oh my God, chills.
Wait, but do you know that Molly on Southern Charm, I know you don't watch Southern Charm, but one of the best new characters on Southern Charm, Molly, was on America's Next Top Model. And she had notoriously,
Which
if you
season?
Google worst top model makeovers, hers is like number one.
Is she the one that they put in blackface?
No. No, because that wasn't a lasting makeover. They weren't like, you're now black for this entire season.
Right.
I think that was just
makeover.
Makeover.
That was just one shoot. Wait, was she the one that got her teeth all fucked up?
No, that was bad too. They gave her like a blonde weave that like gave her like
rashes or something.
Rashes, and then they did it wrong again. And then at the end, the final two, they were like, okay, well, we're going to cut your hair now into like a pixie. And so she only agreed to it because she thought she was going to win. So not only did she not win, but then she was left with like a pixie cut and was a loser.
But now she's on Southern Charm, so.
Exactly. No, I'm so excited for that. And I couldn't believe I didn't see the actual trailer first. I just saw people talking about it. And then I saw that Tyra's actually in it.
A lot. All the judges are.
I couldn't believe that. I thought it was going to be one of those like exposés where they don't talk to the people.
Right. Well, maybe that would have been better because we would have gotten like the real story from the models. But I mean, I think it doesn't, to me, the trailer looked like they do take the critique also and like talk about how problematic some of the stuff was.
We're going to have to talk about that because I loved America's Next Top Model.
Loved it so much. Oh my God. It was just my everything.
I still think about smizing.
All the time. Every time I take a photo.
Yeah. I have said to my son when he's done something bad, we were all rooting for you.
So good.
It's really good.
So good. Okay, that'll probably be the title of this week's episode.
I think that's fantastic.
If I had to guess, which I'm always surprised because Caitlin does the titles and the description. So it's always a fun surprise to see what she picks for the title.
When you read these, are you just like, what is wrong with this person?
No, I'm always like, wow, how did she take this and create that?
So I'm saying ChatGPT
It's always amazing.
Could never.
ChatGPT could literally never.
No, it would burst into flames if it tried to get into this brain.
No, and that's why the AI panic, we need to all calm down, I think.
Wow, that's a different take from you.
No, like I hate AI, but I also think that it's a bubble that's going to burst and that we don't need to be worried about it like taking over the world.
You know what? Ben Affleck actually has really shifted my thoughts on AI because he had a similar take of like, yes, there was a huge explosion, but like it's stalling.
It's not sustainable.
It's not sustainable and it's stalling. And like, so we all think this trajectory is going to continue and it can't. Not. And it
literally can't. Yeah.
Like,
no, I think I saw the same thing and I was like, oh, okay, thank you, Ben. I was like, I feel better now.
I was like, oh my God, that was one of my panics keeping me up at night. And Ben Affleck have soothed me like so deeply.
Because we all know he is the preeminent expert.
I believe him. He's
AI.
A smart guy.
That's actually true. We don't give him enough credit.
No, he and Matt Damon wrote Good Will Hunting at like 20 years old.
That's so true. That's so true. They're brilliant. Brilliant minds. Why wouldn't he know what's going on with AI?
And we know you're listening, Ben, and we just want to say we love you and we are so happy you are here.
We support you.
We support you wholeheartedly.
All right, on that note, anything else?
Can there be anything else?
No, I think that's a perfect place to end.
I think so too.
Okay. We love you guys for listening. Bye.
Love you. Bye.